Okay, we are recording now. Welcome for everyone that is joining in live. So excited that you're here on the line, and the chat feature is open, so you can chat in any questions, comments, feedback, anything. We can make this as interactive as well. I'd love to speak to whatever's coming up on your heart and your mind. So feel free to use that. And if you do want to speak out on your line, then you can just unmute yourself and hop out, and we will get that taken care of as well. So for you that are joining who don't know who I am already, I am Chrissy Key Rollins, and I am just lit up on this mission to bring the truth to the table when it comes to finding your success as an entrepreneur. And I think that there is just so much information out there. There's so many ways that we can get plugged into support and opt-ins and free downloads and trainings that it can get kind of overwhelming. And I wanted to take this series as an opportunity to kind of clear out some of the myths and really help you to lay down the groundwork, the foundational inner and outer groundwork for creating a very simple, aligned business that brings results and feels great to you. Because you didn't come here to replicate what anybody else does. And when people are saying, hey, this is the answer, this is the answer, this is the answer, just copy and replicate what I did, then what you'll do is you will either find yourself learning the information and not actually taking action on it because you're not confident with it, or you will find yourself taking action but not getting the same results. And then when that happens, a lot of times we're left to blame ourselves. And I just want to offer a different perspective, or at least help to, again, tap into what's behind the unseen, what's that invisible foundation that success is built upon, so that you can begin to carve your path to success in a way that feels really good to you and can bring results. And we spent the first session really talking about what I felt like every entrepreneur needs to know. We talked about how this is a very lonely path and you have to be super committed. And I also brought forth this concept of becoming your own best friend and becoming your own best business partner throughout your entrepreneurial experience. So if you're just tuning into this video and you haven't watched that one, then definitely make sure that you check that one out as well, because I'm going to be referring to a lot of the concepts that I talked about. And we're just going to deepen and expand those concepts that I mentioned in that first video. And today, this training is all around mastering the art of follow through. Now, for the majority of my entrepreneurial life, I will be hitting the 11-year mark this December. So I'm just a couple months away from 11 years of creating a full-time income completely on my own, following a non-traditional schedule, doing things my own way, a lot of errors, a lot of learning what not to do. And really over the last few years, I have found my groove, my rhythm, and have found a repeatable system for results on all levels of my business. And the more that I lean into them, the more that I utilize them, the more clarity I get, the more confidence I get, the easier it is for me to take action. And that is what I want to pass over to you, the viewer, to really get you in touch with what are those unseen factors that drive success. It's not just going through A to B to C to D, because if that's all that it was, there would be a lot more people succeeding in business and a lot less people getting out of the game because they don't view themselves as salespeople or business people. And for us conscious entrepreneurs, we're kind of a different breed. We're a new wave of entrepreneurs that have hit the scene, especially as this online era has really taken over. And we're a different breed. We feel a lot. So we feel all of our own struggles. We feel the struggles of others. We are a little bit more passive. We don't have a tendency to run people over. In fact, we're more often kind of run over by other people. So when you're like me and following all these really alpha type A driven people who seem to just be able to conquer every mountain that's put in front of them with ease and simplicity and couldn't imagine it being any other way, I found so much struggle because I just couldn't replicate their energy, this do whatever it takes, drive until you get there kind of spirit, even though I had such a strong desire for success within my own heart. And what's really interesting about this whole concept of follow through is that for a long time, I thought follow through was as simple as finding the right system. If I could just find that schedule, if I could just know what to do, when to do it, if someone could just tell me how to use my time, if someone can just show me what I'm supposed to be doing, if somebody can just, help me to figure out the right system, the right calendar, the right scheduling, the right reminder system, the right whatever, then I would no longer struggle with follow through. And what I found year after year after year, training after training after training, is that I may and did come across some amazing systems that other leaders and other successful people were using in their business, but I failed to replicate them. And I failed to replicate them 100% of the time. And what I have found, again, now over these last few years, from kind of shifting my focus from gathering this information outside of me to really utilizing and upping my internal game so that I can have a different experience outside of myself, I have found that no system will set you free. No system will set you free. No system will set me free. No system ever set me free. The only thing that I have found to really master this art of follow through is an interweaving of concepts and understanding of different philosophies, concepts, and ideas, and also laying down a really solid layer of self-love. Self-love. It is the driver to follow through. So if you're somebody who's struggling with consistency and following through with tasks, I could not encourage you more strongly to dive headfirst in some really great guidance and training around upping your self-love. What does that mean? It's not just something you check off on that proverbial spiritual to-do list. It is an active step that you take on a daily basis and begin to shift the relationship and experience that you have of you. And as you do that, much like I talked about on video 1, as you become your own best business partner, as you start to show up and talk to yourself and treat yourself in a way that is supportive, that somebody would do who is a champion for your success. And when you begin to understand your own intuition, understand how your own internal guidance system works, how it speaks to you, what it's telling you, so that you can better manage what is your gut instinct that you should be going in a different direction versus what is a fear or a self-doubt or some kind of insecurity that's surfacing over what that gut instinct is. So what if how can you decide or decipher when it's fear that's stopping you and when it's your own intuition that's stopping you? You have to learn yourself on an intimate level. You have to develop an unshakable, unbelievably connected relationship with yourself. You have to become your own advocate. That's why, again, in that first video, I talked so much about being committed. You have to commit to your success like never before. You have to commit to recommitting. You have to commit to consistency. You have to commit to loving yourself and being kind to yourself no matter what results or experience you're having. Because your entire experience, your entire entrepreneurial experience, your entire life experience comes down to one thing and one thing only. And for y'all that have been following me for a while, I know that you know what this is. And if you're new to this concept, the one thing that determines what your experience is in any given moment is what experience you are having of you. And if you're having a push-pull experience of yourself, you're going to have push-pull results in your business. You're only going to show up whenever you feel like it. You're only going to follow through when you're in the mood to. You're not going to go out of your way and do whatever it takes to make sure that you succeed until you become committed to your success more than anything else. You have to get committed to your success. You have to get committed to your own peace of mind. You have to get committed to your own happiness, because nobody is going to come along and hand that to you. Nobody's going to make sure that your life is fulfilling or that you get results or income or clients or anything else that you want to experience. Nobody is going to make sure that happens. It is your job, your responsibility, and your responsibility only. And you will not show up trying to help yourself succeed until you really know, and trust yourself on this journey. And the best way to build your self-trust is to begin following through. So when you can shift your actions from something that you do in order to get to something that you do as a demonstration of your own self-love and the commitment that you have to your internal self to bring your heart's desires out into this physical material world and bring them into fruition, until you make that commitment, you're always going to have a lack of follow-through happening in your world. And if you do cattle prod or push and, get yourself to do, motivate yourself and keep yourself unwaveringly motivated long enough to actually get really good at follow through, chances are you're going to be getting the results, but still not having the fulfilling experience of yourself. Because how can you have an amazing experience of yourself while you're cattle prodding yourself? That doesn't sound like fun. It's going to hurt on some level, and you're not going to be able to escape it because you're the one that's putting yourself through it all. So I would love nothing more than to spend the next half hour that we have together teaching you a fail-proof system for follow-through. But even if I had your system for follow-through, something that I could give to you, you still wouldn't do it until you master really loving yourself. And you can begin to cultivate, again, that relationship with yourself where you stop seeing it as, oh, you didn't follow through again. What is wrong with you? I suck at this. I'm never going to make this work. What? That experience of yourself is way different than, wow, I still didn't follow through on this. If I'm not taking action, right? Transform Fear into Confidence 101 for anybody who's in the Consciouspreneur Club. And actually this week, right now, as I'm recording this, we have a Transform Fear into Confidence challenge going on. If you've taken on that challenge or if you followed that information, you already know that there's only one thing that determines if you take action or not. It's not, do you have the right system? It's not, do you have the right upline or downline? It's not, do you have the right website? It's not, do you have the right advertising format or ad posted on Facebook? Those are not the things that are going to make the difference. Those things happen on the backside of you deciding that you are going to see your inner desires through, and that no matter how you feel or what you think about the situation, you're going to show up and do it, because if you don't show up and do it, nobody else is going to show up and do it. So this is a little bit, I guess, a tough love. Somebody said that I have a good dose of tough love for them. I like to think I'm far more love than tough, because this isn't about being tough on yourself. This is about waking up to a higher level of awareness of how you're treating yourself as you're going through the process of trying to get to success. And to help you to shift your perspective to understand you don't want a fully booked schedule. You don't want to be working X amount of hours in your business. You don't even want X amount of income coming in. What you really want is an amazing experience of yourself. What you really want is peace of mind. What you really want is to feel good and fulfilled and happy in your life. That's what you really want. And you don't have to have any of those things that I just mentioned in order to have that experience of you. But you do got to have a rock solid kick-ass relationship with yourself in order to have that experience of you. So you can spend your time trying to go through all the doing actions in order to get into some having experience so that you can experience or be, or however it is that you think you're going to be on the other side of it. But I feel that it's been much more beneficial to my own personal journey when I shifted my focus, not from what am I doing right? What do I need to be doing better? But into what am I doing? Or let me say it this way, what am I not doing that I really want to be doing? And instead of seeing myself as wrong or there's something, the matter with me, instead realizing if I'm not taking action on my heart's desires, if I'm not taking action, I must not be confident. And if I'm not confident, I must not be trusting myself. And if I'm not trusting myself, maybe it's because I have all this unfinished business hanging around. And I've learned to not trust myself to follow through because I have years, months, weeks, decades worth of unfinished business that's still sitting out here. And if that's you and you feel like you can really relate to that, then just understand no amount of cattle prodding is going to bring you results. But a massive dose of daily self-love will get you into action like you've never seen yourself get into action before. Because again, imagine that. What's the difference? What's the difference that you feel in your body right now just thinking about that concept of showing up every day? Not because you're going to get income or results or clients or whatever, but because you can't stop yourself from doing this work that you're so passionate about. Isn't that what drove you to go into business to begin with? Your life was heavily affected by something that you experienced, be it a product or a modality or whatever else that you got going on inside of you. You experienced, you applied it into your own life. You changed your world to the point that it lit a fire inside of you that you have to tell this to other people. They need to know this. They do. They need to feel amazing in their own skin. They need to feel amazing in their own body. They need to know what you know, and you need to share it with them. But again, nobody's going to come along and make sure that that happens. You went into this series of events to where your life changed for a reason. That spark of desire was sparked inside of you for a reason. That passion was lit up. If you could snap your fingers and have your success, you'd be doing these steps that it takes to get to success. And it's so easy. Believe me, I say it every single day. There's not a day that goes by in my life that I don't catch myself saying something that's limiting my experience based on my belief. Well, if my husband would just go ahead and take his leap of faith and quit his job and support me full time, like energetically, to give me the space to have more hours in my business, then I'd be getting more work done. Then I'd be following through more consistently. Then it would be a lot easier. All of that is just a fantasy that you create in your head to justify why you're here and not taking responsibility over the real reason why you're here, which is that you haven't been supported in connecting to yourself and loving yourself deeply enough to become your own advocate and to understand your soul chose you for this mission. You are perfectly equipped. You don't need any more training. You don't even need to watch the end of this video. If you could take one thing right now that would change your world, is to stop thinking that there's a problem with you. If you could really understand your soul chose you to live through that, you couldn't be more equipped. You don't need any more certifications and trainings. Now, having said that, if you're going to market yourself and present yourself as somebody who needs a certification or training in order to be that, then yes, do that. But you don't need the type of training that you think that you need. What you need to do is give yourself permission and recognition that you have got your soul's calling, so you are equipped. You are the chosen one for this journey. That's it. You don't get the soul's calling for somebody else. You get it for you. And you would not get a soul's calling that you weren't perfectly designed to make into this reality. And when you can start to trust yourself and trust something bigger than yourself, trust that that's how all these pieces are falling together for you, then you can begin to take action and follow through on some of those soul's desires. When you get the fact that you can't fail this journey, you can't fail this journey. You cannot fail this journey. So stop looking at your lack of results as failure and start to look at them for what they are, which is feedback on how you are experiencing yourself. And I'm telling you just that one thing, if you could just move forward as if, then every step that you take, you would, first of all, you would actually take it because you would know, hey, this is just a step to the next step and a step to the next step and a step to the next step. And hey, Michelle, I see that you just hopped on here, sweetie. I have you muted out, but I do have the chat function open if you're in a place that you can chat. And if you do want to hop out, you can just unmute yourself, but I'm glad that you joined us. When you can surrender to your soul's calling, when you can surrender to the what if you're fully equipped? What if this next step might not bring the results that you think that they will or that you saw somebody else get, but what if just stepping forward will lead you to the next thing that you need to know and the next thing you need to know? What if part of the reason why you're not receiving what you want right now is because you're sitting on top of stacks of unfinished business from everything that you've done before, trying to be or get some different experience of you that you didn't follow through on? What if you began to follow through on those unfinished business, not in order to get, but because you deserve the peace of mind and clarity of knowing that that is finished? And what if you completing these tasks, this unfinished business actually opens up the energetic space needed for what you want to come in? And what if you're not having the life experience that you desire right now because there's no space for it to come in, because it's filled with paperwork that haven't been filed, emails that haven't been replied to? Am I starting to hit home with some of y'all? Desk and stuff that's in disarray. What if part of the reason that you're not succeeding right now is because you have not given yourself the space to do what you know you need to feel amazing? Be it go for a run or take a long hot bath or take a weekend away from your kids. What if all of these unfinished things are actually taking up energetic space that what you desire is waiting for that to clear out so that it can come into your world? What if follow through is the best way to build your self-trust? What if the reason you don't trust yourself to move forward is because of all the unfinished business that you have out there? Take any of those what ifs and move forward as if it's as if it is a reality in your life, you will have a totally different experience. Amber says, you cannot fail this journey. So healing. I totally agree, Amber. It's so healing. It's so liberating. I just got chills. If you're ready for a healing journey, if you are ready for a leap in your spirituality, start a business. This is what y'all have all done, regardless if you're aware of it or not. You got a soul's calling and you said, I'm going to live into my greatness. I don't know what that means. You probably didn't even use those words. It probably sounded more like, I feel like there's something more. I feel like I should be having more, doing more, experiencing more. I feel like there's something more out there, and I don't know what that is. But I can't be settled with where I'm at now, knowing that there's something more out there. That's where it begins. That calling in itself is your life saying, hey, maybe if you do what we came here to do and stop trying to control everything and have everything go your way or think that you're wrong for being how you are, what if you fell and surrendered into that? What if you started to trust yourself like never before? If you focus on building your self-love and your self-trust, follow through is a natural side effect. It's a natural side effect. There is no system for it. Nothing. Yes, you can show up every day at 7 a.m. and check through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things on your to-do list. You can do that every single day. And yes, that will give you some results. But will that give you the experience that you really desire? I don't know. But I do know that the experience that you really desire can happen without you actually getting all those results. And I do know that the more that I focused on loving myself and building my self-trust, the easier it was for me to take action. When you make that declaration, I'm going to answer my soul's calling. I'm going to live into my greatness. I'm going to start a business of helping other people. When you say that, your life says, perfect, cue the healing. Because you got healing to do before you can actually be as fully expressed in this world as your soul starting to tug at you to do. And the reason it's tugging is because that's what you came here to do. That's why whenever you're in your element, whenever you're in your passion, that's why it feels amazing. That's why it lights you up. That's why you get full to overflowing. That's why you get synced into this amazing energy that you would stay in all the time for free if you could still pay your bills, right? It's because it's what you're meant to be doing. It's getting in touch with your true natural essence of who you are. You cannot fail this journey. You are born for success. In fact, all of this is just unfolding to lead you to your success. But as long as you see it as, that's not the way it's supposed to look, that's not the way it's supposed to look, what's wrong with me, what's wrong with me, as long as you see it that way, that's going to be your experience of it. Guys, law of attraction is an observation of what physically happens behind this or in the physical world. It's not what is happening behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, something happens and you're like, that's a poopy experience. I don't want more of that. Oh, great. Here comes more poopy experiences. Not because you're attracting them, but because you're having a poopy experience of you who's going through all the experiences. So don't worry about taking an honest look about what you're feeling and what you're experiencing. Look at it from a different perspective. Look at it as results, as evidence of your healing. Every time that you have a failure, see that as a stepping stone to learning how to do it better. You're never going to follow through on all the rest of the stuff that I'm going to give you throughout this journey. You're not going to follow through on it until you can begin to love yourself. As I started to fall in love with myself, I realized like I'm a pretty awesome chick. I've been pretty awesome my whole life, and other people sometimes have seen it and sometimes haven't seen it. And I've been so caught up on trying to express myself in a way that I can be better understood so that I can get that validation from everybody. When I set that aside and just said, you know what, I'm pretty awesome and I have a really good heart and I have really good intentions. And I know no matter how much success, no matter how much money, no matter how many clients come to me, I'm going to be good to those people. I'm going to be good to that money. I'm going to do good things with it. So why can't that alone be enough motivating factor to follow through on what your heart desires every day? When I started to look at it from that perspective, I'm the only one who gets to hear what inner Chrissy wants. I'm the only one who knows what it feels like, what the experience would be like, what it looks like. It's not anybody else's mission to make sure it comes to fruition. It is mine. And I started to get really sad. I was touched very deeply by the thought that if I didn't do it, she lives unheard. She lives unseen. That's so sad because she is quite amazing. And the more that I can trust her and the more that I can understand that I am just a vessel for her to work through, then it becomes a lot easier because now I can just be her advocate, and it's not Chrissy marketing herself, Chrissy promoting herself. Chrissy's job is to promote this amazing gift that's inside of her that has the power to change people's lives. Your life is changed. If you've made it this far in the video, your life will forever be changed just because you've been introduced to these concepts. Because if you made it this far, something's resonating. And it's not because I have the answer and I'm telling it to you. It's because I am sharing with you my experience, and there's a truth that's resonating deeply inside of you. I don't have to convince you of it. I just have to live it within my own life. So when you want to master the art of follow through, you have to understand, love yourself and follow through will become second nature. Understand that your job is to be an advocate for your internal self, and your follow through will skyrocket. Stop shitting on yourself. Do you understand how much space telling yourself you're wrong and lamenting and worrying and frustrating, all that fear, all that anxiety, all that frantic energy, all that overwhelm, it's big. You feel it. It feels like a huge weight that you're carrying around with you. Life recognizes it, and it takes up space, and what you want can't get in. You can't have a room full of overwhelmed anxiety and squeeze in a little bit of peace of mind and think that that's going to take over the room. It's not going to happen. So you've got to ease that down and let it go, right? There's that proverbial let it go, or that all elusive let it go. How do you do that? Maybe we'll talk more about that in the series, but I've only got 15 minutes left, and I'm committed to bringing you guys some really powerful information about follow through. Beyond this, this is just, this has to dominate our time together, because this is how big of a foundational piece. Because I'm going to tell you these other things to help you take your time back, to help you really master getting more results in less amount of time. But again, if you just jump straight into that and you're still shitting on yourself, or freaking out over what your bank account looks like, or worrying about what your partner's doing or not doing, all that frantic energy takes up space. All those thoughts of, I really should exercise, it takes up space. So either love the one who's not exercising, or go out there and exercise. Either way, you've got to clear that space. You've got to file those papers. You have to respond to those emails. While you're waiting for what you want, take care of business that's left undone. You clear the energetic space and you signal to life, guess what, life? I might be overwhelmed, but I'm clearing space for what I want. And as I clear space for what I want, feel free to go ahead and start sending it, because I'm ready for it. Because look, I'm clearing up the space. You can't have a brand new, fully booked practice handed to you that you don't have time for, because you have 4 years of taxes that you need to file. Like, life's just not going to do that. It's like, whoa, you're so overwhelmed. You got 4 years of back taxes. We're definitely not going to send you in more now. You'll really freak out, because then you'll be worried about their results and are their payments on time. And meanwhile, you're not even doing all this. Just get those taxes filed. Just do it. Just do it. Nike said, got it right. Right? So as you clear out, as you follow through, you're creating the space for what you want. As you take action, it's the action that activates. It's the balancing of the masculine and the feminine, the seen and the unseen aspects, the seen aspects of you and the unseen internal aspects of you. You have to balance those. You have to become where your outer self surrenders to your inner self soul desires, and your outer self shows up as the advocate that's there ready to live it out. And notice, this is all stuff you'd be doing if you were handed that fully booked practice. When you have that fully booked practice, you're going to be doing all this stuff. So go ahead and do it now, baby. It's what you want to be doing. You're just not excited about it because you can't see the results of it yet. Consistency is the name of the game. It's not what you do, it's what you do consistently. Anybody can do something wrong or bad. It doesn't make them a wrong or bad person. But if they do it consistently, it's going to start to feel and look and smell that way, right? It's what you do consistently. So until you can show up consistently and follow through consistently on the outside, start showing up and following through consistently on the inside. Tell yourself, I love you every single day. If you want to better understand your intuition, join my mastermind group. I will walk you through the process of understanding your intuition. We just did a self-love series. Next week, we're starting a self-trust series. Self-value, self-worth series, which is the precursor and help to amplify all this follow-through business. If you want to better understand your intuition, jump in that group. I will walk you through the process. It's amazing. And it's such a changer, a game changer. But just understand that you can put all your efforts on finding that system and following through. But until you follow through for yourself, Make consistently loving yourself, following through with self-love on a daily basis. Do that first, and all the rest will start to pop up and it will start to be taken care of. You won't be able to stop yourself. I can't stop myself from doing these series. I can't stop myself from doing it. I was going to do it even if nobody showed up today. I'm doing this while I'm on vacation because I can't stop myself from doing it. And because I know I'm going to feel amazing on the other side of it, regardless if y'all do anything, but I hope you do something. I hope you stay following this series. I hope you join the Consciouspreneur Club if you're not already in it. If you're ready to welcome a high level of support for a very low investment, check out the mastermind. Y'all, you want to get in on this mastermind in 2017. Just get in on it. You will not regret that decision. Just get in on it. I don't want to spoil everything that's coming, but get in on it. Reach out to me, find out more about it. And if you're somebody who really struggles with mastering your time, like I don't have enough time to do it all, don't have enough time. If I only had more time, I could follow through. If I had more time, need more time, just gotta have more time. If that's you, which it probably is, because that's like almost all of us, the way you start to master your time, the way you start to take your time back, the way you start to make time work in your favor is that you start taking your time. Take your time. Take it. Take your time. There is no failure. There's nothing to rush to. In fact, you're already on the fast track. It cannot unfold any faster. You're on your way. You're getting it all right. You are. If you're doing anything wrong, it's just thinking that you're doing something wrong. If you want more time, you have to start taking it back. Take your time on this journey. Allow it to unfold at the pace that it's going to unfold, and love the one who thinks it should be going faster. Step 1 in taking your time back. Step 2 in taking your time back is start to take your time, meaning you get 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes of your time every single day. You give it to your kids, you give it to your spouse, you give it to your clients, you give it to the strangers at the grocery store. You give everybody your time except for you. Yep, you. You might squeeze in a little shower here and there. You might get your teeth brushed every now and again, super fast, but don't take too long because we got to go, 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 go. I do everything but totally overstep myself to get ready because I'm low maintenance. I can get ready super fast. You know what that means? That means I often don't really stop and look at myself in the mirror. I don't take that time for myself in those habits. As you bring your awareness to this, you'll start to see you're worth time to floss your teeth. And in fact, taking 5 minutes every day or 1 minute every day to floss your teeth, and this isn't a dental hygiene thing, although Monica's like, yes, floss your teeth, because I see her listening and smiling right now. Yeah, she's even wearing the dental shirt. She's got it going on. Take time to floss your teeth. Take time to floss your teeth every day. It will help you more than an hour of meditation every day. I know, bold statements here. Consciously take your time. As you're flossing your teeth, think about how much you love yourself. With every tooth that I floss, set an intention, right? I'm getting chill bumps, y'all. It's how I know that I'm on track, right? Start to set an intention. With every tooth that I floss, may all beings be liberated. With every tooth that I floss, may another entrepreneur find success today. You start to consciously integrate your awareness and presence of your physical self and your internal self with your daily doings, you will begin to take your time back. All of a sudden, guess what you'll find? I used to only have 5 minutes to get ready in the morning. Now I've got 30 minutes. 30 minutes of my time. If you are a separate being outside of yourself that was under your care, you would have to give yourself your loving, undivided attention. Do it while you're you. No one's going to hand you your peace of mind. No one's going to hand you your success. No one's going to hand you your fulfillment. Nobody is going to walk over and be like, Chrissy, I got this extra 30 minutes of time. Do you want it? Let's squeeze it in. Today you get 24 hours and 30 minutes. It doesn't happen because you know what you would do? You'd be like, great, I'm going to zone out and watch Netflix, or great, I'm going to do something for somebody else. You're not going to follow through. Believe me, start to pay attention to this. Start to pay attention to this. I used to so tell myself, I'm a mom. I got my business going on. I got my husband to take care of. I got my baby who needs everything all the time. I've got a house. I've got all these things happening all the time, right? Juggling, hustling. That's why I want to vanish this whole word of hustle to get results, because some of us can't hustle any more than we're already hustling. There's no more hustle in us. And you're just going to hustle until you burn yourself out. So just press pause on that for a moment. Give yourself that moment of your time and you will find yourself having more time. So I used to tell myself, well, if I had more time, if only I had more time. You know what? I had time. You know what I was doing in that time? I was sitting at my desk talking myself out of taking action because I didn't trust myself. I spent my time distracted by what's going to happen on the other side when I don't get results, when I don't actually produce anything. And the next thing I know, 2 hours has gone by and I hadn't followed through on anything because this thing was more committed to my struggle and suffering because at least I gave myself attention when I was suffering. What? Yes. And what if all this discourse, push pull, what if that's just life acting like a toddler who wants your undivided attention? And what if you started giving yourself 30 seconds of your time every day? 30 seconds of your time every day. Y'all, I just really want to like shake you right now because it's 30 seconds of your time. I want to shake myself because I have to consciously work this into my day. I'm going to take a moment to say I love you. I'm going to take time to consciously connect with myself every single day. And the more that I do that, guess what happens? More productivity, less time, because my time isn't filled with overwhelm, anxiety, self-doubt, self-worry, self-fear. Now that happens, which is another message that I want to interweave throughout this series. You're never going to hit a point where you know what you're supposed to be doing, where you know what your offer should be, where you know who your audience is, what you know what your prices to be. So if you're waiting for yourself to know everything before you take action, you're never going to know until you go, until you take that action, until you do it, until you put it out there. See how people respond. See how it feels to you. See what happens next. You have to go. You have to put it out there. You're never going to know what you're supposed to be doing. You can only ever go and figure out what you could be doing from there. But if you take that action, it's not the action that brings results, it's the energy behind the action. So if you take the action shooting on yourself, take the action loving yourself, find the difference. You'll notice it instantly because you don't want success. You want an amazing experience of yourself, which you think you'll have once you hit success, but you're never going to get to success because you're shitting on yourself. Do you see this cycle of insanity? The beautiful thing about this is that there's only one person who can stop this cycle, and that one person is you, and you can end it. But you have to start with following through with unfinished business, loving yourself no matter what you're doing or not doing. Take your time back. Because if somebody gave you 24 hours for you to do whatever you want, you're still not going to do all the things that you think you would be doing. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. You can lie to yourself all you want. I'm telling you, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't. You'd sit there and be like, oh, I've got all day. Let me see what's happening on Facebook. And then 7 hours later, you're going to be like, I didn't do anything, but I've watched every episode of Orange is the New Black and Dancing with the Stars and Dexter. I don't know. I'm just making this stuff up. But y'all know what I'm saying. If you got time to research what Netflix show to binge watch and you binge watched on them, you got time to make your business successful. You do. You don't need more time. You don't need more money. You don't need more energy. You need to love yourself more. You need to start cutting yourself some slack. You need to start giving yourself more credit. You need to become your own advocate, your own champion, and you need to make your actions be a demonstration of your self-love. Now, I've got 3 minutes left before I'm going to hit wrap. So if anybody's on the line and wants to jump out, now is your time. Or if you want to chat any chats, I feel like this has been amazing. So I feel satisfied with this time that we spent together. But I always want to know, does this make sense to you? Is it hitting home? Are you taking away anything? And if you're watching the replay, make sure you leave me some comments. I'm just going to peek at my notes real quick. So if anybody wants to jump out, now's your time to do it. And I'm going to make sure that I hit on all the points that I wanted to hit on before we close this out. Yeah, so that's my clue on taking action before you're ready. You're never going to be ready, so just do it. You're never going to be ready until you actually do it and you realize, oh, wait a minute, I survived and I really feel amazing, so let me do it again. So that's how you take action before you're ready. Mastering your time, start literally taking your time back and clear out all those time suckers and distractions of worries, doubts, fears. They're not helping you. They're not serving you. Just let it go. And really consider shifting and start to notice shifting from being reactive. Do you get into action whenever you are in need? Or do you get into action proactively because you love what you're doing and you do it consistently, not to get results, but because what else would you be doing but rocking out what you love to do? Amber says, you're an awesome chick. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. Takes awesome to see awesome. She says, thanks for sharing all of these loving nuggets. You are so welcome. I am so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for your feedback. Glad it's making sense and it's not just me. Michelle says, you are profoundly amazing. Thank you. And thank you, Michelle. You are profoundly amazing. To plug into these trainings, to do it consistently, you ladies have been here You're just amazing. It is you. You inspire me to no end. And whatever this awesomeness is that I have just allowed myself to surrender and let come out of me, you got it inside of you. That's how you see it inside of me. It's just you got to get synced up and trust yourself enough to start exploring things for your pleasure. Take on a radical level of self-trust. We're going to talk about that in the next video. Trust yourself enough that you are a great person. You're not going to take advantage of people. You are not going to do anything wrong on the other side. Trust yourself to explore things for your pleasure, knowing that you will never find pleasure if somebody else loses. Right? Michelle says, wow, girl, goosebumps. Exactly. Trust yourself enough to live a pleasure-based life because you will not find pleasure through other people's sufferings. So trust yourself to move forward. You're a good person with good intentions. You got this calling in your heart. Just get it out there. That's what I'm doing. I'm flying by the seat of my pants every single day. I am rough, raw, unedited, untouched, and I want to show you that when you can find the sweet spot of surrender, where you can surrender your physical self to your internal self, magic happens. You become more amazing than you even realize that you are, even knew that you could be, and no training will ever get you to that level of amazing. Only you can do that for you. Okay, I think that's everything on my list, and I'm right at the top of the hour. So I'm going to run right now and go take care of another client. But I thank you for plugging in. And if you're really ready for some really amazing power shifts, again, connect with me over the Consciouspreneur Mastermind. It's an amazing community, monthly membership group. You pay this ridiculously low premium, especially in 2017. So get in while you can. Monthly trainings, monthly group healing sessions, on the spot deep dive live video trainings. I mean, you name it, you get the support. It's just unbelievable. And also, I got my 21-day money power shift. Y'all heard me talk about it through the beta testing. The beta testing has wrapped. I'm now in a pre-sale. Actually, I'm officially in an early bird sale. And I didn't do as much promoting about the pre-sale as I really wanted to with the holiday, my husband's birthday and everything. So I wanted to, let's say for this first week of early bird special, because I'm going to do early bird for 2 weeks. For this first week, this is Wednesday when I'm recording this. So we'll say until the next live training, you can do the early bird special. It's just $222 to get in on the 21-day money power shift. $222 for the early bird special. That price is going to go up to $333 in a couple of weeks. We're going to kick it off the first week of October. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your heart wide open. You can ask the ladies who are on the line that were in the beta program. It's the bomb. I mean, to say it's a power shift is it's an understatement. You will feel this shift happen before you the 21 days even begins, let alone actually completing it and having this course to replug into over and over again. So if you want to find out more about that, you can go to bit.ly/money power shift or just connect with me. I'll make sure you get the information. So for those who are like, I would love this, 222 is an amazing deal, but I don't have that cash in my account right now. You can split the payment into 2 payments. So you could pay $111 today and $111 30 days out. But that's not all. For this next week, I'll let you join with a partner. You and a partner can come in for $222. Just pay once, $222, and that will take care of you and a partner. If you want to split that payment, you can do $111 and then 30 days out $111. You and your partner are in. You two can work out the difference. We can talk about all that. So reach out to me if it's something that you're interested in, and I'd love to get you plugged in. Otherwise, I will see you around the Consciouspreneur Club. So definitely check out that community as well. It's open for anybody to join. It's just a free open group on Facebook. Stay plugged into this series. I got 3 more videos on deck to come out. We're going to be talking about everything that is needed to keep business simple and aligned so that you get results in a way that feels amazing to you and to the people that you interact with. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for watching. Again, leave me some comments and feedback, and I love all of you. Thank you. Bye.